Wing Chun is typically known for 3 punches. The vertical thrust punch, often done as a chain punch. The lifting punch, sometimes falsely labeled an uppercut. And the hooking punch, which is not a hook, but a hooking punch. The vertical thrust punch is a vertical feature, meaning that the dimple in the elbow is on the same plane as the top of the hand. So vertical meaning relative to the elbow. Forming a vertical punch, the fist is vertical to the floor. Now, if I turn my elbow, the vertical punch also turns. So a punch like this is also a vertical punch because the plane of the dimple and the hand and the elbow are on the same plane. The lifting punch is often called an uppercut, but an uppercut is performed like this, which has no forward quality. And Wing Chun is known as a forward striking martial art. So the lifting punch, if it misses its target, it still goes forward. But a lifting punch is notable that the fingers are on the plane of the elbow joint and not the top of the hand. The lifting punch is lifting because you're using your torso to apply the power versus the vertical thrust punch, which is using the arm. The hooking punch has hook effect and it's very close and is done by turning the body. What people often fail to realize is that Wing Chun is a formula and not a set piece. So the vertical thrust punch and the lifting punch can be combined. The lifting punch can become a thrust punch. The thrust punch can be moved on a side. And the lifting punch can be done with some hooking punch in it and done on other angles. So when you combine some of these together, the lifting punch is not limited to only the uppercut angle, which is why we do not call it an uppercut. An uppercut is strictly a target, as in I'm doing the uppercut into the chin region. Whereas the lifting is referring to the lifting of the body. And although it seems contrary to the term lifting, the body can lift in the downward direction using gravity. The hooking punch is done with the torque of the turn. And here I'm using a palm strike, and I'm adding the extension, which is typical of the thrust punch. So the point here is that these 3 typical Wing Chun punches are only representing the form or formula of a punch power vector, and that it is possible to have all 3 Wing Chun punches combine in the formula to make a single punch. So the thrust or extension of the arm, the lift, the lifting punch of the body, and the hooking or torquing angle can all combine to make what is commonly thought of as a boxing punch. So if you see a Wing Chun person performing in a fight, you're not going to see him just doing these 3 moves. You're going to see a combination depending on the situation. My name's Jeff Cox. My bag was 125 pounds. Thanks for playing.